just Sir, and welcome to the Arsenal Fan Experience. Join me as I go in depth into the inequitable game that was. As we begin today, we shall adjust once again how these teams line up, and with Liverpool being on the verge of closing the gap, between Manchester City and first, and only being 4 points off. This is a critical game for them to win, and as they've had Arsenal's number of late, with them having won majority of the games in the past matchups with Arsenal. Not even mentioning their last match at Anfield, where they absolutely destroyed the Gunners. They look to continue that today. Meanwhile, on the opposite side of the fence with Arsenal, obviously, I've been very praising of their play of late, with them having gone on an incredible point streak since January, since really their loss to Manchester City on New Year's Day. And as we look at the starting lineup again today, very the exact same. And as a result, I don't think I should address any more of it. But notable for Liverpool is that they did not start Mohamed Salah, nor did they start Roberto Firmino. So, but and I thought I was kind of perplexed to that, as is such a critical game for them. But at the end of the day, they have so much depth in their squad that they can put in Diogo Jota and Luis Diaz and still succeed. And really, throughout the first half, Liverpool did have Arsenal's number, particularly a couple minutes in, off a great corner from Trent Alexander-Arnold. Virgil van Dijk was able to head it on to target, and Aaron Ramsey was just able to get it away, although his header was like a bullet, and Ramsdale got hammered in this game with shots from Liverpool. But Arsenal would have a couple chances of their own, and they would hold their own, and really, Alexander-Arnold was able to get a good chance in the 15th minute, but Andy Robertson was able to clear it before Arsenal was really able to get anywhere, and that was really basically the outcome of the game, in that Liverpool has such an incredible defensive structure, and it's almost impossible to get past them. And in the game, when you take it on a team like Liverpool, the best case scenario is really to get a draw, or get a fluky goal, as I believe Arsenal did a couple of years ago when they did beat Liverpool, when it seemed like Alisson and Virgil van Dijk were kind of hung over and made some peculiar decisions. But that was not to be tonight. And with the exception of one last chance by Trent Alexander-Arnold, who just put it over the bar, there's really not much to take from the first half, other than Arsenal was holding its own, and it looked feasible for them to squeak out a draw. But we're talking about the Premier League champions from 2 years ago, and potentially Premier League champions of this year, and UEFA Champions League, UEFA Champions League caliber team as well. So there's no easy feat for them to salvage draw. And going into the second half now, my worst fears were almost realized, as Sadio Mane, who did start this game, came in with a great chance off a through ball from Jordan Henderson, and to his disappointment, the goal was taken back for offside. In an array of events, sometime later, Liverpool would be tested as a poor pass from Thiago, who is probably one of Liverpool's least best players, who's starting today, put in a pretty poor ball intended for Allison, and fortunately for them, he was able to make a great reaction um, to save and deny Martin Odegaard, as he looked like he had a wide open net, and that was really Arsenal's best chance the entire game. And um, they would also get another chance about a minute later with Bukayo Saka. Um, it was to no avail for the Gunners, and Liverpool would take advantage of that. As despite my slander for Thiago, he would deliver a great pass to Diogo Jota, who, while I thought Cedric did a good job in defending Jota and not letting him get past his fellow countrymen, Jota was able to fire a perplexing shot through a tight angle that just beat Aaron Ramsdale. Although it did look like it hit the side netting, it was in fact a goal, and Liverpool took a 1-0 lead. And just after that, Jota was subsequently substituted off in place of Roberto Firmino, while Mohamed Salah would go out for Luis Diaz. And it sucks for Jota to put in that big effort and only to be substituted right off. But it just goes to show you that they just have so much depth that their display, and they're willing to be patient with their players, and everyone's willing to take time, and no one really no one really complains about their minutes over at Liverpool, and that all those substitutes would pay off as to an unfortunate series of events. Arsenal was left oblivious to the masterclass of Liverpool, and particularly just their passing it was hard to really suppress. Although I do feel like they should not have just been standing around, and they should have been jockeying, they should have been pressuring them, and that was really where they failed. And thanks to Gabriel really letting the ball go through his legs when Salah took a shot, and just a terrible clearance by the Gunners. Bukayo Saka tried his best to clear it off and deflected off of Andy Robertson for a throw-in, but unfortunately to his luck, ball stayed in play, and Robertson was able to take advantage, and he put in a great ball to Bobby Firmino, and he slotted it home, making it 2-0. And in both celebrations, both Jota and Firmino seemed to get very involved with the crowd, with Jota issuing a shush to the fans, and then Firmino jumping into the crowd, and subsequently he was given a yellow card. It's good to see them having fun, but for Arsenal, it was business, and just not good enough in defending, and that it showed in those two goals. Although I would not blame Aaron Ramsdale for those goals, especially with Firmino. The Firmino goal is that someone should have been goal side on him and should have been marking him more tightly. But overall, Martin Odegaard's day would come to an end with him being substituted off for Emile Smith-Rowe. And Smith-Rowe with his an infinite amount of energy put in a great chance right away, but it was blocked by the mighty defense of Liverpool, with Joel Matip getting in the way. And ultimately, Arsenal would make a couple more substitutions, bringing on Nicola Pepe and Eddie Nketiah again. And Gabriel Martinelli would actually have one last chance that was fairly promising, but there was just no getting past TAA as he just pushed Martinelli off the ball legally, I might add. As much as I'd be critical of Andre Mariner sometimes, that there was no foul in that play, and that was the game. That was the match. As Arsenal comes out of a disappointing result against Liverpool today, with final score being 2-0. My final thoughts on the game are that I'm not surprised. I suspect this is what they expected going in that Liverpool would be a tough opponent, not giving them any chance to really showcase their attack. I feel like sometimes their game plan is fairly easy to mark out when the right manager is playing. And in this case, Jurgen Klopp knows Mikel Arteta's flaws inside and out through persistent uh, view. Although really, there's no excuse with other managers, but Klopp just has a very keen eye. And in this case, just the team's Liverpool's like just put continuous pressure really gave Arsenal no chance to do anything productive. And while I say this is a significant improvement on their game back in November, with them having better possession, more shots, and pretty much a equal in terms of really, if it was very equal up until the second half, and that's where the inequity began, and Liverpool just um, kept putting on when they put on and when Liverpool substituted on Salah and Firmino, it was basically game set and match for Liverpool. And there's no way even with if Nicola Pepe returned to his form as he did against Wolves, there's no way you're getting the same player. And overall, my man of the match today goes to Trent Alexander-Arnold. And it's a surprise for me to reward it to a player of the opposing team, but TAA, as I've consistently praised him in this video, was all over the pitch defending, having great defending, and putting some great crosses, and really just really being really impressive for him. And as much as I like to praise Kieran Tierney or Mikhail Saka or Martin Odegaard or Aaron Ramsdale, they just weren't able to make a significant contribution today as they usually are capable of. So anyway, leave a like, subscribe if you enjoy my reaction, and join me on the next join me in the next Arsenal fan experience as I go in depth into Arsenal versus Aston Villa. Arrivederci.